Hello everyone, I'm Catlin. Welcome to another Wet News Wednesday. Let's get into the news. Queen Elizabeth II became the longest reigning monarch in Britain's history this week, one-upping Queen Victoria. While she has done the time, the question remains, has she or has she not one-upped Victoria's erotic chair game? Because if she hasn't, I think she's missing a crucial opportunity. A string of shootings have erupted in my home state of Arizona, taking place in Phoenix along a stretch of Interstate 10. While a group of masked vigilantes are claiming that they're standing by to protect everyone, that's not remotely terrifying, many are asking why the shootings are happening in the first place. Just a few ideas of my own. 1, you're in Phoenix. 2, you're on I-10. 3, you realized that at that exact moment you could be in any of the other stunningly beautiful places in Arizona, but instead you are cruising along the devil's armpit in Phoenix. I'm 3,000 miles away, and that thought made me want to punch something, so motive. The US government has pledged to take in at least 10,000 refugees from the crisis in Syria, where now more than half the country has fled. That's the equivalent, just to give you a little bit of perspective, of everyone west of the Mississippi fleeing the country. Also, to anybody saying that they should go back where they came from, they didn't run away from a questionable real estate market, you heartless moron. They fled for their lives, as so many in history have had to do. So think back to your Irish, Italian, basically anybody's great-great-grandparents, reflect on their sacrifice, and count your blessings. Fantastic news came out of the Vice President's office this week. $80 million, which was collected from international banks that broke our sanctions, so don't worry about it coming out of your pretty little tax-paying pocket. But $80 million will be allocated to test a backlog of rape kits across the country. This is fantastic news for victims and for anyone who believes that wrongdoers and people who break the law deserve to be punished in accordance with their crime. Speaking of lawbreakers, Kim Davis, the county clerk who is just all over the news, has been released from jail, although she is under strict guidelines to issue marriage licenses to everyone, or she will go right back to jail. I just have one question. Why isn't she fired? Okay, I take that back. 2 questions. If you're a presidential candidate and you obviously are operating under the delusion that the United States of America is a theocracy and not a constitutional democracy, shouldn't you be automatically disqualified from the race, Hucka Cruz? Finally, her attorney was quoted as saying, "She will not, under any circumstances, violate her conscience." Well, Kimmy's obviously never waited tables. Also, just one little thing I'd like to say to Kim. Will you shut up and do your job, you ungrateful little hypocrite? Signing a piece of paper for 2 folks in love violates your conscience, but the fact that you've been through 3 divorces and had 2 children out of wedlock didn't? Excuse me, Madam Holier Than Thou, but it just kind of feels like you're cherry-picking what you'd like to stand for. Well, everybody, that does it for us this week over here on Wet News Wednesday. Always remember, if you can't make good decisions, make safe ones. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and you know, we'll see you next week. Won't violate her conscience. I've violated my conscience twice, and that's called my commute to work.